like, when else am I gonna do that?
Yeah.
I'll also do it.
No, that's awesome. How's it going, Cody?
Good, very good.
Yeah.
How are you?
Pretty good, man. So Cody has been coming in. How long have you been coming in since I opened the shop?
I feel like it's been a year now, right?
At least, yeah. Because I've been open a little over 2 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And you've been coming in for a while, so.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
no, I before I got married, I was looking around and the wife pointed out, hey, look over there. That guy's haircut looks pretty good. You should go there.
Nice.
And then that was, my friend Jake was working across the street, and I was like, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was honestly meant to be as deep as that might sound. I feel like it was really meant to be, honestly. And
No,
I get
it's
compliments left and right for my hair at work, just so you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like, how is your hair always so perfect? I'm like, well, every 2 weeks.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Oh, it was like, well, you got to let the work speak for itself. It looks good every time. He's like, every time you come to work, it's even after an 8-hour shift, you're sweating and it still looks good.
Dude, that's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely boost the confidence up for me.
That's great. Are we
Keeps
doing the
me feeling
usual,
good.
doing the mid-bald fade?
Yeah.
Just kind of blend the beard in. Are we taking any length out of the beard today?
It's looking pretty good. Just clean it up.
Sweet.
And the part on the side always looks good. With
the hard part?
The little razor part, yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I've met Cody through here, but I've learned to, or what I've really appreciated about Cody is that he's a person that's super passionate. He's a person that cares about what he does and cares about the people that are around him.
Yeah.
What would you say, Cody, kind of fuels that passion?
Yeah, this passion is driven from childhood. Everyone's had their own traumatic spots in life, but I've had a very humble beginning with my dad raising me by himself, and it kind of came from not having really anything. I mean, we were even homeless at one point, and my dad sacrificed everything for me. And that I have to attribute that to my passion, because coming from that point of life, he also gave me the grace to do what I wanted to do. It was like, I wanted to play hockey, and he found a way to scrounge up some gear, and I worked for their ice rink and played hockey for 11 years, and I really got, a lot of good leadership skills out of it, because I was captain. A lot of that, and then that hard work ethic stemmed from there. My dad just did anything he could to provide, and he did. He's still taking care of my niece and nephew, so he's a hero of mine. So like, it's always, I've gone through school and again bullied almost my entire life, where I had to really dive deep into my who I am and be confident. And I was really, really shy throughout high school, mostly because I was getting bullied all the time. But what helped me get out of it was film. And when I found one of my best friends there at that time, we would just film videos. I actually, it started with audio recording. We were just goofing around, and it was just funny. And we just started making videos, and that became my passion, my love for it, because it was fun and it was escape from reality. Yeah. It was a way that I can create my own, essentially, content, or my own world, my own story. And, YouTube was starting right there. In 2008 is when I posted my first YouTube video, and we were just posting, and people would go online and make fun of it. And I'd go to school and they would be laughing at me, and I was just like, yeah, but I did this.
Yeah.
But I did this, and I was, for some reason, that, you know, I wasn't ashamed of it being a horrible video. I was just happy because it made me happy.
Yeah.
And that gave me that I don't know what to call it, but like the pride, but also like this strength and confidence.
Yeah. Kind of spark.
Yeah, and you know, along with hockey and filming videos for that, and just it was like 200 videos on the channel at this point. And it was just all just for fun. There was nothing else about it. It was just doing it because I wanted to do it. And I started with the most minimal equipment. It was just one little $20 CVS camera, and the thing would blink and make a bunch of noise. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
You used cardboard boxes as tripods, and I just learned. Back then, YouTube wasn't even, there was no videos on anything really about how to do this or that. It was a brand new space, and it was just getting developed. An entertainment side of it was coming through, but it wasn't anything that it is now.
Yeah.
But that's the greatest part about it, because I didn't do the videos for anything other than for myself.
Yeah, there probably wasn't even monetization at that point.
You know, there was, and it was open for anybody.
Oh, wow.
I remember
I didn't know that.
getting like 3 cents from YouTube at that point.
Nice.
After 200, it was great. It was AdSense. It was great. But I learned everything on my own from that, and that was like, okay, I really, really like doing this. And you know, I had a lot of injuries in hockey, and that turned into, I don't think I can do this, where I can risk getting another concussion. So I really like doing this film thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to college for that.
Yeah.
So I went to college for it, for TV film. And it's funny because all the knowledge I gained from myself making my own videos, I was already so ahead of the classes that the professor told me, why don't you go teach the classes? And all right. I stood up there and I related to everyone there, and I just taught them, this is how you do this, that, and this and that, and this and that. And the professor gave me a job and was like, you want to work for the school? You know what? You know what you're doing.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's how that turned out. And as shy as I was, you know, I kept breaking out of my shell in certain areas. But I always liked presenting in front of people and that communication. If I was confident in what I was talking about, I liked talking to people about it. And that's kind of like what film and videos are. They're telling a story. And, you know, if you're passionate or confident about it, it's going to shine through. So, I started working for the school, and I met a ton of people and a ton of connections to that, and got a job outside of college, worked for Channel 13 News, and did live production for sports. And then I went from there and worked for different independent films and reality shows, and kept meeting more and more people. And that's just kind of how it works, where you put yourself out there, you're confident, you learn as much as you can, you're constantly studying what you do. You're disciplined in your craft, and you keep doing it, and you just keep doing it. And if you really, really are passionate and care about what you're doing, like, you're never going to fail, because you're just going to keep growing.
Yeah. So talk about that phrase, you're never going to fail, because I'm sure there have been times where you felt like, man, that was a flop.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you can say you're never going to fail, but also have gone through some really hard times with the content.
I think it all stems from the passion, where if you love what you're doing, you won't fail, because you yourself have gotten something out of it every time. You feel better as a person because you did the work. And that, at the end of it all, it doesn't matter what the views are, it don't matter what the comments say, it don't matter what the random people online say. You know, if it's positive, it's great, you can take it with stride. But you have to do this for yourself, because YouTube, it's specifically, is kind of an individual thing. It can be a collaborative thing, which is what, is great, but you have to do it because you want to do it. So when you look at failure, it's not, you can't really define that. And I learned that from hockey as well, where it's, oh, I didn't score. Like, that doesn't mean anything. You just keep trying, or,
It just means what it is.
You
didn't score, it means you didn't score.
Exactly. And so when you make whatever you do, whatever art or whatever you're doing, if you're happy at the end of it, that's what really matters. So failure is just learning, and you need to fail over and over and over again in life. Everything around life is built that way. From when you're born as a baby, you're failing every step of the way. That's how you learn and you grow. But you can't. Sometimes mentally you'll get it to a point where you're like, I expect this out of myself, and I don't know why this isn't happening. And that can be that can be a big struggle to get over. Just fighting yourself and dealing with your own demons, or and that can break you down and tear you down. But if you can learn how to pace yourself out with your work and your work-life balance, or your passion, where sometimes you need to take a break from it, and that's okay. Or a lot of times where I thought, like, I need to play hockey and I wanted to go professional, and if that's what I had to do every single day, all day, no matter what, practice, and I have to do this for the rest of my life. No, you don't. If you find yourself in a position where it's like, I don't like this anymore, then stop doing it.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to appease anybody but yourself. If you have a family and a wife, and then you have those priorities. You have kids. Those are the priority that you want to appease. But you need to realize that this is your own journey, and
in our conversations, I know that some people might hear that and be like, oh, he's just saying some self-help type of stuff. But what I've learned about you, Cody, is that you're really passionate about this stuff because you believe that it's a purpose of yours, right? It's more than just something
really
you want to do for yourself to be cool.
Yeah.
You really care about people and how they grow and how they learn. So you have a passion behind the purpose, correct?
Yeah, I want to inspire other people. It's been I've seen so many people just like be unhappy with their lives, and I think we all have, and it's like this whole old mindset of, work your 9 to 5 and work your 40 years and retire, and it's that's fine, but you have to be happy at the end of the day. So it's like, I like being able to help anybody that can help with. If my video helps somebody, that's great. If I can in person just talk to somebody and, what do you want to do with your life? Maybe I can help you, or try to find some spark of inspiration that you don't have to be miserable. You have the freedom in your life to be happy, and you have, what is that going to take? Like, it's about being happy, and that's all it really is. But I just want to see the best in everybody. I really do, because I think for me, film and media can really make an impact in the world, and it's shown how it has throughout the years. So it's an extremely powerful tool, and it can be anything. Like, a video can speak to anybody. Like, it has so many ways and power, so much power behind it. If I can show my passion through it, maybe they can see something inside that for themselves.
I would say that 2 words that people misuse and kind of misunderstand a lot are success and failure.
Yeah.
And how I would kind of look at the word success is that success is when you're growing yourself and when you're helping other people grow.
Yeah.
And failure is when you give up.
Yeah.
Failure is when not just when you move on, Because sometimes, like you said, for hockey, for you, for me, I was a plumber and I moved on from plumbing.
Yeah.
That wasn't giving up. That was moving on to something that suited us better.
Yeah.
But when you give up just because it feels like this was too much and I can't go any longer, and then you retract into yourself, that's when I see failure happening. But the great thing is that even if anyone has done that, there's always room to keep moving forward and growing from and changing your story. And I think a lot of people feel stuck. And for you, Cody, I think the critics would say, Cody, how do you feel more successful now than you felt when you were working for a film company?
Yeah.
When you were working, when you were
huge.
doing the dream, doing the sports production and that kind of stuff. When now you're working at Red Robin and you're doing YouTube.
Yeah.
But in your perspective and in my perspective, I see great success in you now.
Thank you.
And tell me about how you see that as more successful, because I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my journey, has been quite the long one in a sense of, 15 years of studying this type of practice and this type of work. And it wasn't always serious. It was the first couple of years was just for fun. But as I went through the college experience and went through the job afterwards and multiple productions, as I rose through the ladder, I realized that they cared more about the money and the business side of it than the art form, because film is art, and that's what it comes down. So it stepped away from that the further I went up the ladder. It's crazy because I think in total, I was always doing YouTube on the side in between, but never really dedicated my full time to it. And I was like, well, I have to do this, and then the client climbed to this promotion, and then you start as a PA and you move up and you do this, and then you move to that, and it's like, and I realized that then a day I wasn't happy with it anymore, but I was happy for it in the beginning for the first 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and then the last 2 years I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I stopped working for all these production companies and just started serving, where I was like, I don't think I could ever serve. I don't know why, but you might think serving is just like this job to get quick cash or something. But what it really did for me was help me with my communication skills, where I could feel comfortable, because how nerve-wracking it was to go up to a random table and try to make them happy. At first, this was like, I was crying on my first day. Yeah. So, to gain the confidence of being like, taking care of somebody and just food, and then they were happy at the end of the service, or they give you a compliment, you're like, wow, this is what it really comes down to. It's about making, inspiring and making other people happy and helping them. And for serving, it was just food, but that made their day better. Yeah. So it gave me another sense of confidence and work ethic, where I was like, well, now I can communicate with random people. Yeah. And I have I've from my past, social anxiety rose up, where I was, I felt judged on every single move I did, and I was judged online consistently. And a lot of people don't know, but I've been making videos for 15 years, and I've got no success, quote unquote success in the numbers with those until recently. Yeah. And that's crazy, because I went from the standard career of what you should do as a filmmaker, and there's so many avenues you can do as a filmmaker. So this isn't like, one size fits all. This is, I found myself in the editing niche where I loved creating something from nothing, where you just you're making something raw and turning it into something, and that's, it's like a blank canvas that you're making into something, and someone else doesn't have to like it, but you liked it. Yeah. But recently I found myself so happy with my quote unquote success on YouTube, where I've actually hidden the points where I wanted to. When I believe in something, I'm going for it. Like, I believe in myself first. And that was my first YouTube channel, where the quote was, be yourself. You know, and that comes down being yourself and believing in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself right now, make steps to do what you want to do, and you'll start believing. Because if you just start doing what you want to do, you'll be surprised at how many things it's going to unlock for yourself if you just do it. Put in the work as well. You have to put in the work. You can't just say to do something, you have to do it. So for me to come from the quote-unquote film industry, working in that and living this dream life where it's like, I'm in the film industry, yay. But I'm so much happier doing independent work. And now it's sustainable, where you can actually make a full-time living doing what you love to do. And that's the greatest part about social media. And there's a lot of downsides too, but there's finally a world and opportunities where anyone can just be yourself and actually make a living off it. Now it's going to take an extreme amount of work and a lot of years of dedication. The world's not going to give it to you off the rip. You're going to have to work for it, and you're going to have to continue. And I have a lot of work in front of me. I'm always going to have a lot of work in front of me. But after so many years of just practicing and critiquing myself and learning from my mistakes and constantly wanting to improve. Like, if you don't want to improve, you're not going to improve. But if you can just do one thing better next video, then you're good. Just one thing. You know, the quote in a business would be 1% better than you were yesterday. And that's kind of the same idea. Like, what can I do better this time? And that's what's cool. You know, everyone's usually, if you're making videos, you're afraid to post them because they're not perfect. Just post them, because you're not, unless you're lucky or you hit the right stride right off the rip, you're not going to get a ton of views, because YouTube rewards off of a lot of content, off of a lot of time. Like, it wants to make sure that you're a channel that's going to produce for them, and then they'll put you through the algorithm. But you have to just do one thing better. That's it. Just one thing. You know, when the next time you come around to the project, and don't even worry about a consistent schedule right off the bat. Just do what you can manage right away, and just do one thing better. So it's, you know, and me making my content, it's in my soul to make it, because I want to make a difference in my small little impact. I want to be able to, you know, and I'm doing something very unique with the niche of mobile gaming. It's something that's not really relevant in the mass. It's not, I didn't choose to just do videos off of whatever's popular just because I know that's what's going to get the views. I chose to do something I believed in, and that's what I think you can take from that. It's like, what do you really love and believe in?
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your, I think I'll probably have you on another time to talk more nerdy.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about just some of the growth you've seen in your channel, and how it's made you feel with that, but also tell us about some of the recent things with when you have seen the success, you've also seen some backlash from some people, right?
You know, YouTube's a hard thing when making a 10-minute video to keep retention throughout the whole thing. And as what Gen Z, their attention span is a lot shorter because they've gotten used to very intense, like high-paced content.
And really good content.
And very good content, because a lot of the Gen Z has been born into this. We've learned, you know, I'm adapting essentially to the current audience, but it started with short form because I figured if I can make a 30-second video that they can watch 100% through, then I can try to do a 1 minute. Even though I was extremely confident in my film skills, translating that over to YouTube is a different scenario, because especially with the growth of TikTok, it's been more about real people and real engagement than it is about what your lighting or what your sound or what this is or how you're speaking or what your script or what your hook is. It's about real people and real engagement, and that's the fun part about TikTok. It's like you can go the more, serious route, or you can go the casual route, but if you can connect with people, that's really the bottom line. You have to try to connect with them.
Yeah.
And providing value is a huge thing, where if you can provide value and information and help them, and that's been like super cool to do, because I've been able to dive deep into my craft and give value back by giving them information, and then also mixing that with just pure entertainment and trying to do that. If I really enjoy an idea, I'm just gonna do it, and then you post and you test, you post and you test, and then you adjust from here. And I'm a big OCD where I write everything down, so it's what keywords can I rank for, how the very beginning of the video, the first 1.8 seconds, how can I make this a little bit better or whatever. So really the shorts went from 30 seconds. Okay, I'm getting growth within 30-second videos because I'm nailing down every single second matters. Every second matters in the video. Sure. So now, okay, I'm gonna do a minute, and then I went to a minute and a half, then 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes. I finally hit 1,000 views on a video, and I was like, on a long form video, because YouTube works way different than TikTok with the view count at least. And I finally hit 1,000 views off of just speaking passion and information off of a game not being developed anymore and getting shut down. But I've been able to make also connections too. Whatever your niche is or whatever you're trying to do, you find similar people that are doing it as well, and then you're gonna start being able to bounce feedback through them, and also just build real connections. Don't try to utilize them just for your own growth. Actually value them as another creator or another human, and take their opinion or work with them. And I've been big on that, where
I'm sure that's from serving to filmmaking.
Yeah, it has. It has.
Everywhere in between.
Having connections, and also just similar people that have the same passion or about a similar topic is always been a part. We all, as humans, we all try to find communities that you go to the club there, you go to the book club or whatever. It could be anything. You go to the gym, and then there's a bunch of people that are. We all align ourselves with groups. You did it in high school with cliques and all that stuff. It's just part of human nature. So, just being a genuine person and actually caring, and don't do it just for your own self-gain. So hitting 1,000 views recently, I was like, all right, I finally
on
one video, and it's like, okay, I might have gotten, because getting people's attention it gets harder almost every day. Yeah. So, but I'm happy because I'm not doing fake content. I'm doing content that I actually care about. So I hit the 1,000 views, and I was like, all right, we're gonna continue doing the weekly. This is video 194. This is 194 videos into this channel specifically. It's my third channel, and that's another thing. Like I switched my niche up 3 times. It went from music videos, working with bands, and just anything on one channel, and to Magic the Gathering channel, and then now it's mobile gaming channel, and it's really gaming. It doesn't matter if it's mobile, but that's like the specific community that I enjoy them. Just enjoy, like,
and they connect with you a lot.
They connect with me. I really do like mobile gaming, and it's like something that constantly gets looked down upon at this moment, which is even better, because it's like, okay, if I really do believe in this, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not just gonna change up for, I'm gonna do PC gaming now. Nothing against it, just because people are like, why would you play mobile games? It's like, no, I'm gonna show you why I play them.
Yeah.
So then the next video hits, and that's at 5,000 views.
Wow.
So that's back to back. Yeah. That's a huge mark for myself, because that has over 100 comments, but also like it's it reinforces the
There's
confidence.
people behind those comments.
The people that are actually caring about it. And it was all 100 comments of positivity. It was all welcoming me into the new game. And that's awesome because these are real people that are playing these games and they're having a positive engagement with somebody. And that's what gaming comes down to, regardless of the platform, is connecting with other people. And now they see me, and I'm going to continue this weekly where I can try to continue to grow on this channel where I'm putting out content that is entertaining, but also just like inspirational. So I'm showcasing all these different types of games. I'm showcasing different sides of it, how you can play. Like there's also just information. Like there's so many routes that I can go. And then, I want to work on a short film that actually hits on a lot of real points that were actually in my life with an addiction to games, where it's not all just positivity. And that just be me being a genuine person. Like I want to showcase all sides of it. This is me.
Yeah.
And this is my interest, but there's also the downsides of it. So, and I want to do it in a very creative way where it's a short film based upon my actual life.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to help me, and it already has helped me because of writing the script, getting the storyboard, and now I'm scheduling out time to shoot. Just like the film days, all those skill sets transfer. Like everything you do in life, if you can take a couple skills away from it and move it towards something else you're doing, it's never a waste. Like you're not necessarily, I quit this job or stopped doing this, but then I moved on to this. It's like, well, now because of hockey, I have leadership. Because of serving, I have communication skills. Because of film, I can make YouTube videos. Like they've all worked in with themselves, and this is why I think, and personally, the journey I've had after getting married with God has increased, and I really think God has given me the right path to do this. And I pray every night, and I've been wanting to get closer, and I want to keep doing, and it all comes from the heart, and that's the most important part. Like this is coming from my heart, so this isn't something that I'm just doing just because I want to make millions of dollars being a content creator and an influencer. No, I just want to be able to connect with people and inspire them at the end of the day, and hopefully continue to help grow the mobile gaming community, because it's a community that is growing, but also needs, as I see it from my standpoint, we need a few more leaders in the community that are going to help, continue the success of this community. And it's not about the game, it's about the people.
Yeah, that's awesome, Cody.
Yeah.
We could talk forever.
Yeah, I could talk forever, man.
But the haircut's done, so we're going to have to have you on again.
All right.
So I'm going to clean up your mustache here, but after I do that, give us some closing thoughts on, for someone who is struggling to kind of push through into that passion. So Cody, what would be kind of your closing remarks to someone who's kind of been going through, really wanting to be really passionate about something, but felt defeated or felt like they couldn't push through? What would be your encouragement to those types of people?
You're going to continue the struggle with it. I might not be really honest. It's not going to be something that you can just, it's going to be over and you're going to be like, oh, I'm good now. Like you really have to, if you're truly passionate about whatever you're doing, my best suggestion, and I have to do it almost every time. What can I do better today? Just do one thing. And I think that's where you don't try to overcomplicate it too much. It's kind of like putting in the reps, working out. Theoretically, every time you go to work out, you're a little bit stronger. when you just break it down one thing at a time instead of getting super overwhelmed, oh, I got to do this and that. No, okay. Oh, I moved the camera tripod 1 degree to the left. That's one thing. You're good. You made an improvement.
Yeah.
And over time, you're going to get good at it, and you're going to continue to improve on it, and it's just going to work. The numbers are in your favor. If you keep doing it, you're going to be an expert, and you're going to be amazing at it.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
That's awesome. Thanks, Cody.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
What do you think about the haircut?
Looking great.
Good length?
Fantastic.
Good length in the beard?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Fantastic. I'll get a lot of compliments.
There we go. Thanks again, Cody.
Yeah, you're welcome.